The funny thing about this whole situation is that I'm not shocked in the slightest possible way that skill-based matchmaking is in the Call of Duty Vanguard beta. That's why I didn't even bother getting a beta code for PlayStation 4. I just knew that deep down it was going to be the same exact situation as the alpha. And the alpha, once again, was there so we could test out the game and see how it performed. Fix issues, fix bugs, that was the whole purpose. But after seeing how thick the skill-based matchmaking was in the alpha to the point that I couldn't even dig deep into the game to even experiment with stuff, it was just straight meta users, 24/7, every single game. It got to a point where I couldn't test anything out in the alpha. I couldn't give any feedback because I was too busy sweating instead. And I knew if in the alpha, which was a 2v2 and 3v3 specific game mode, if skill-based matchmaking is in there, then it's 110% going to be in a 6v6 beta as well. And I know everybody in the comments section is going to be saying, "Oh, JB, get better at the game. You're trash. Always complaining about skill-based matchmaking. Blah, blah this, blah, blah that." Look, I'm going to show up a couple of tweets here from multiple other content creators. Not like myself here, not ranters, people who, like to also shine light on a lot of the negative things going on with these titles, but more of channels that have a lot of positive feedback about games, and people usually go to these channels more for tips, tricks, and news sources. And let me tell you guys, if these individuals are saying that there's skill-based matchmaking in this game, I don't know how anybody else could possibly deny the fact that skill-based matchmaking is a legitimate disease in Call of Duty anymore. Like I said, the main excuse for everybody in the comments section is that me, myself, and a lot of other content creators, all we do is just complain and whine. But when a lot of people who talk really good about COD are saying it, I don't know where else you guys can possibly turn. Let me throw up the first tweet here by JbowenDaMan himself. He went ahead and said, "Have ran into about 4 to 5 different content creators already. They're not trying to hide skill-based matchmaking." And keep in mind, this is a beta for pretty much everybody who has pre-ordered Call of Duty Vanguard. This isn't the first initial, gameplay reveal where it was only content creators who got access to the game. No, that's completely over. We are in the official beta that everybody has access to. Yet still, this man can't get into lobbies without it being a bunch of pub stompers, sweats, and people, like I usually say, meta-using. Modern Warzone, another channel that always has a lot of positive feedback for the Call of Duty titles. He even went ahead and said that lobbies disband after every single match and Vanguard pain. And for those who don't know, the lobby disbanding feature goes 1-in-1 with skill-based matchmaking as well. Also, another tweet here that the GOAT402 Thunder actually liked. It says, "There is no skill-based matchmaking in Vanguard. Mother effer, right as I hit level 10, I get a time limit draw. It's a sweat fest." Here we are again, just like Modern Warfare, TDM games that always go to a time limit. And this is just the cherry on the top too, because this is hilarious. Not only did it reach time limit, but it was a time limit draw. So not only is it a complete sweat fest where people are camping, but the competition is so serious, such on an MLG level status here. It's almost like in $1 million tournament that these people are literally fighting neck and neck with a score of 77-77 with a draw with the time limit gameplay. But this is all stuff that I just read on Twitter. I haven't really seen with my own eyes skill-based matchmaking being super thick. So I logged onto YouTube, I checked out a couple of videos. I actually checked out one of my homies' streams, Lil Izzy, great content creator. And I saw the skill-based matchmaking live and in action. This man was just trying to kick back and try out different weapons, explore the variety in the game, test out different attachments, unlock new weapons. He was just trying to test things out in the freaking game. But every lobby this man got into was just stacked with STG players. STGs are reigning supreme, and yes, again, I understand, a meta is going to be established in every game. It's not just Call of Duty. There's always going to be that one weapon that everybody tends to just run towards, gravitate towards, and just want to abuse. Now, I guess this could partially be the community's fault, because, of course, the Call of Duty community, unlike all the other communities out there, are filled with the most sweaty, toxic individuals I've ever seen in my whole life. And instead of taking advantage of the beta to make sure the game is polished off and then go ahead and sweat when the game is finally released, after all the bugs and glitches are fixed, a lot of these bums would rather sweat their balls off in a beta, watch the game completely flop because nobody paid attention to any of the problems that are actually happening in the game. They'd rather sweat and get all the kill streaks instead, and then when the game releases, these are going to be the same people who are complaining about issues that have been spotted all across the game that could have been easily fixed in the beta, but instead they chose to sweat it out when the game was released in this form. But to be honest with you guys, I think skill-based matchmaking is probably the largest issue here, not the community. It has to be skill-based matchmaking because you don't necessarily have to be forced to go up against these meta-sweating people every single game that you play. It doesn't have to be that way. But in Call of Duty, like I always say, the better you do, the worse the game is going to turn out. Because in other games, like Halo for an example, or even Splitgate that you see right here, or Gears of War, when it's thick skill-based matchmaking, when it's supposed to be putting you up against equal competition, at the end of the day, everybody has the same weapons, everybody has the same lethals, tacticals, and when you want to go find something, you have to find it on the map and actually fight for it with the base weapons that you already have. So basically, you have to master what everybody has to use. Everybody's using the same thing. But in Call of Duty, there is variety in the game, and there's variety for a reason, because the game was always casual. There was always an aspect that you could use pretty much everything on the list and have at least a decent experience. But the problem that me, myself, and a lot of other really good players out there that are complaining about skill-based matchmaking are running into is that players like us, we enjoy variety. We use variety. But when you get into that bracket that has high KDs and high win-losses and high score per minutes, the majority of those players aren't, variety players. The majority of them got to that position. The majority of them grinded up on the leaderboards to that spot because they specifically used one weapon, the most powerful weapon in the whole game. And it just leads you to seeing the same meta every single time that you load into a match. One game you see the STG, the next game you see the STG, after that you see the STG. Same thing with Black Ops Cold War. When it was in the beginning, when the 74U was the most obnoxious gun in the whole game, that's all you saw. Every single game is 74U. Then the tech became the most overpowered gun, then everybody uses the tech. You see it every single game. Meta users everywhere. And it sucks because if you just dumb down your stats, or you reverse boost, or you join on an account or something of that sort, you will have proof that not all lobbies are like that. There's a lot of variety in these Call of Duty lobbies, but it's just because you did a little bit better, you performed a tad bit better, that you have to be put with these individuals. But I feel like I'm getting a little off topic here. I'm not really trying to talk about the initial skill-based matchmaking algorithm and how it works. I just want to talk about the beta itself and how ignorant and stupid it is that Activision feels the need to put such a thick skill-based matchmaking system into a test version of their game. The whole purpose, I'm going to say it again because I've already said it 50 million times, the whole purpose of putting out alphas and betas, not really to, bring in more numbers and more people to purchase your game, because the majority of the time the game is a broken mess, you're not going to be getting your sales off of a game that has bugs every 2 seconds, you know what I'm saying? The whole purpose of these things is to test out the game and make sure it's in a good working condition for the final release. But how in God's name can anybody even focus on anything in the game when you just, like I just said, you have to verse with meta sweating people every single game that you play? I already said this in my last video. I called it. I literally called it, and I'm going to say it again here. Vanguard is going to be an assault rifle game that's going to be completely angle-based. People are going to find the hot spots. They're going to find the best locations. They're going to post up shop with the best assault rifle that shoots like a beam and has good damage, and they're going to laser people from their spawns all day long. That's how people are going to stack up on their streaks. That's how people are going to get nukes. That's just how this game is simply going to be played. But all the feedback that I'm hearing right now about the beta are very obvious things that anybody could come up with. People are saying the audio, the visibility, things that any player can hop into the game and instantly recognize. But nobody's talking about the deep bugs and the glitches, attachments not working correctly, certain guns just being completely dysfunctional, certain parts of the maps either freezing your game, freezing spots, frames dropping in different locations. There's so many different problems that happen in FPS games that are going completely under the radar right now because nobody can put any focus on finding them because everybody has to sweat in order to do anything in the title. At this point, it's chalked. We just have to come to the conclusion that we're going to be getting a broken, buggy mess at launch right now because they're putting no incentive or no drive into anybody to actually dig deep and try to find the issues within this game. Yes, betas are still here for us to enjoy, get an experience about what the new Call of Duty game or whatever new game is coming out that the beta is for. It's a good way to, bring in more customers and bring in more fans. But like I said, it's not going to be your main selling point. Yes, you might get a few people to jump on board and purchase your game, but at the end of the game, you are putting forth the most broken, buggy version of your title out there. That's not a selling point at all. If Activision were to rebrand the word beta, and instead of saying beta, saying, okay, we're releasing the broken version of the game, do you think people would look at it the same? Because that's what's basically being released here. That's what a beta is. It's technically an incomplete version of the game. It's not polished yet, and that's what they're giving to us. But no, it's covered over with beta, and people got a new mindset of what this means. But like I said, I haven't played the game for myself. I've just seen pretty much everyone and their mother saying that skill-based matchmaking is stupidly thick in Call of Duty Vanguard. So guys, go down in the comment section and let me know your guys' personal opinion. Have you guys played Vanguard yet? And what do you guys think? Do you think skill-based matchmaking is stupid thick, or do you think everybody's just complaining for no reason, and there's absolutely no problem with Call of Duty Vanguard right now, currently. But guys, thanks so much for tuning into this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new and you enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with me, there's two ways to do so: over Twitter and Discord. Both those links are down in the description. And also, want to catch me live stream some video games I do over on Twitch. Link that's in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.